Hi, I'm Barb Miller. I teach special education at Selma Middle School. Our corporation is one-to-one iPad 4th through 12th grade, so digital learning is very important to us. I'm going to quickly talk about my favorite app, which is Doceri. Doceri is super easy to use and it's free. Did you hear that? It's free. I'll show you an example of how I would use it in the classroom. I will also tell you a couple of the benefits and go through some of the features that it offers. So for example, let's say in math class they're learning one-step equations. So I would go through a couple examples, and then this helps reteach them from class and also helps parents who maybe have to rely on their students' notes that are sometimes hard to read. So I would say, remember, we have to get our variable by ourselves. The first step we did in class was draw our line down from our equal sign. We're going to do the opposite of what it's doing to the variable. So in this case, it's subtracting 7. The opposite of subtracting would be adding 7. We have to do that on both sides of the equal sign. -7 plus 7 would be 0, so we can cross those out. We can bring down our x, and then 13 plus 7 equals 20. And that's how you solve for a one-step equation. That's an example of how I would use it. Now let me talk about some of the benefits. Doceri is an interactive whiteboard, and it allows you to record audio and video screencasting. So very important for differentiated lessons or accommodating all different types of learners. You could also use it for a flipped classroom. Therefore, you could put notes on whatever your learning management system would be and have the students watch the video and take some notes. That way, the next day they come in and know what lesson they're going to do, and they would have more one-on-one time to ask questions with the teacher working through the problems. You can share Doceri a lot of different ways, but you could post a video on Twitter, on YouTube, on Canvas is how our school shares them. They can even be shared through the camera roll. And the biggest benefit is it's easy. Now, there are other apps that you can use for an interactive whiteboard, but Doceri is super easy. Even students can record their own for peer teaching or projects or things like that. Now I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite features. So as you can see, you can record just like I'm doing. You can change the different backgrounds. So if I'm using this for math and I need a graph, maybe that's not the right size graph. It has all different sizes of graph paper. Or maybe you want to use it, you need it for a map. So they have different map backgrounds that you can use. We go back to chalkboard. You can also upload your own picture for a background or maybe a picture on a slide. We have different pen tools. So this pen tool right here is the one I'm currently using, and you can change the color and you can change the thickness, or you can use this pen tool, and of course you're going to get a little thicker line, but again you can change the thickness or the color. We have lines, so if maybe you're like me and can't freehand a line very easily, these cool squares, rectangles, whatever you need to make, or maybe circles. Maybe you need to circle something on a map. You can also erase just a little portion by using this erase tool. You can delete your last writing if you just made one mistake and you want to go back. Or you can clear the whole slide and start again. Now with that tool, it would look like that. If you didn't want to erase the whole slide, you could just click the next arrow and it would go on to the next slide and give you a blank slide. And that's really how I put this presentation together with different slides. Once again, this is Doceri, one of my favorite apps.